I'm back. Life has been lifing. And today I wanted to talk about some of the spiritual slash like woo woo things that I think should be common knowledge. Also, I think that everybody should follow. Now, I did put a disclaimer here because some people are weird, and I want to get this clear before I start explaining, saying, or doing anything because this is purely based off of my experience and what I've seen and also what I've been taught growing up because I think there are things within everybody's family dynamic and unique life experience that are probably witchy and you just haven't realized it. So today, that's what I'm talking about. This one, I I wanted to start with this one first because it is the most important because I see this happen so often. Like if you're out with someone or if you're on a date with someone and they put your bag on the floor, you should take that as a personal offense. You absolutely 1,100% should take that as a personal offense or a threat against your life in some way, shape, or form. Because not only is that your belonging, okay, it shouldn't be touching the ground. Two, it's your purse. It symbolizes your money, and when you put it on the floor, it's going to waste. You're not ever going to, I wouldn't say ever, but it's like bad juju on your money blockages and people who put your bag on the floor. You should probably stay away from. Doesn't matter if where there's nowhere else to put it. Find somewhere else to put it that's not on the floor. Two, throwing away old things like gifts, clothes, or jewelry. I would say jewelry is included in that too because we could receive gifts from people and things like that, whether it be actual physical gifts or clothes, or it could be a various amounts of things. But I am pro throwing those things away because not only are you carrying that energy with you, but also like it's still maintaining that energetic core even if bad things have happened. Now it's different if you can shift the meaning of it and transmute it, but if not, like if you see those things and they remind you of those people and those events, you should probably throw it away. Even if you should also still declutter your spaces because after a while that energy does begin to build up and back up and stay stuck in certain places. So every once in a while, if you get an urge to just throw everything away and do this, do it, follow it, listen to it, it's probably because you need to make room for something that's coming in that you're not aware of. Consciously. Subconsciously, you may pick up on it, but not consciously. This one is also the most important because the music does matter. It's a frequency and it can be absorbed subconsciously. Be very careful about what you're absorbing because purely the whole entire purpose of this is merely choice. Like you we always have a choice. There are certain circumstances where we may not necessarily, but for most things in life we do have a choice. You have a choice in what you'd like to consume, how you like to present yourself, and those kinds of things. And I think that you should be mindful that you have a choice in that and like make your choice based upon what feels right and feels comfortable to you specifically. If that makes I'm going to say if that makes sense because I know it does make sense, but you definitely want to be mindful of that because if you there's a reason why people who listen to specific artists have a specific energy, and it's because the a frequency that they're absorbing through the artistry in some way. Like for example, some people say SZA music is like side chick music, and I don't want to agree because I do, but I don't at the same time because I had to personally, I love her as an artist, but personally, I had to stop listening to her music because really super traumatic life events kept happening to me when I was listening to her music. And I noticed that. So I had to, when I noticed that, I had to be like, okay, let me try something else. And it was completely different outcome. So if you do want a little trick, listen to Ring My Bell by Anita Howard. Boom. Go listen to that. Listen to that every day for a month, and then you'll see how much different life's going to be, especially because that's a big, big money song. So, yes. Cleaning on Sundays and or before vacations and holidays. Now, cleaning on Sundays is super important because it's a refresher to start your week. It's really like saying, okay, here's all the energy throughout the week. Let's get it out of the way so that way we can start the week with a clearer mindset. Before vacations and holidays is kind of the same thing. Like vacations, it's more so of it's one less thing for you to have to worry about. You know, you can come home and really decompress and relax and actually take time and process your vacation and, you know, anything else that may need processing. Holidays, and when I say holidays, I mean important holidays like New Year's Eve or the Lunar New Year that just happened, moon cycles. Those are the kind of things that you should be proactive with maintaining a cleanliness in your physical space as well as your spiritual, mental, and emotional space because it it's a conduit for what you would like to bring into your life. Over clutter can back up what's coming in for you. Like the last two tie into each other in that way specifically. Cooking in someone else's kitchen without permission. Yeah, I grew up in a family where you could absolutely come over and, you know, hang out with the family and, you know, sleep over at the house. But if you wanted to go in that kitchen and you didn't live there, you need to ask because also feel like for me, it's a respect thing and it's also an honor of somebody's boundaries. That's someone's personal space. They live there, you don't. They have their pots and pans in certain places, they like their seasonings in certain places. It's a number of things, but ultimately it's a form of respect from my perspective, not only physically but also energetically. It's like saying, I'm comfortable in your home, but I'm this level of comfort that I'm utilizing utensils to make myself meals. I want to make sure that I don't cross any boundaries. It's very, very respectful thing to do. And I've seen so many people not do that rule and it like I wouldn't say it irritates me, but I see it and I'm like, because you don't really respect the person that whose space you're in. Because don't. Same thing with taking someone else's like food items without permission. I'm very like, because there's a way to do things. If you're not sure, there's always the option of like, hey, is this for X, Y, and so, or if nobody's there to answer or respond, just literally wait. Like find something else to do. I have experienced so many situations where the other person just did not ask, and that was the issue. Because of course, you know, sharing never a problem, ever a problem. But it becomes a problem when you just take it because it's there. And I think that's a disconnect for that because it was like, oh, nobody's going to be willing to be generous and kind. No, people are willing to be generous and kind. You just need to be respectful in that generosity and kindness. That's it. And when people feel like you're not being respectful, then that's when the dynamics begin to change. And a good way to show that would be to, before you go in somebody's kitchen and start doing a bunch of extra shit, you should probably like make sure that they're okay with you going in their kitchen and doing a bunch of extra shit first. It's just common sense to me. To me, it's common sense, but to most people, it's probably not. 6, sharing your plans or good news before they're permanent. This one also is a form of evil eye because sometimes you may not even realize it, but sometimes it doesn't affect it, sometimes it doesn't. But I think if it does affect it, you should pay attention because that means the people you shared it to are not people who actually want good things for you, if that makes sense. Like, it's a way of saying, okay, somebody somewhere, somehow, some way sent an energy out that didn't want me to have this. Like, it's so minuscule because you're excited, you know, you want to have these experiences and you really want to relish in the joy of having something good for you go on. However, I would say just be mindful of sharing too much. Like, don't give away necessarily, don't tell everything from A to Z. Like, you can give away A, go to D, go to Z, and, you know, do all of that, but do not give away the full A to Z because then you risk the possibility of, one, that person playing your downfall, and two, jinxing it so it doesn't happen. Hot tea every morning for proper digestion and intention setting. Now, for the intention setting portion, it depends on what kind of tea. So, like, say if you were to drink like a cinnamon spice tea or cloves, like a clover kind of tea or a citrus or chamomile, that's what I mean. Like if you want to set a relaxed tone, something that's kind of giving more refreshing, or like a mint tea, it truly seriously depends. And that for digestion is true because I have digestion problems. I have stomach problems. So a hot tea every morning has really helped me out with the the digestion problem, especially like the discomfort aspect of it throughout the day. It truly seriously helps. And it seems weird because you're like, oh, but it actually does help. It may not feel like it at first, but over time, it actually does help with your digestive tract and get things moving smoothly. Be careful whoever you invite into your home and cooking for you. Same thing with number, fuck, I can't remember, 5 or 6, can't remember, but same thing with cooking people's kitchens, okay? Because not only for safety reasons can they steal, but also you're inviting their energetic space into yours. It's a sort of collision in that sense, and it can go very, very poorly. Like animals maybe getting a little bit more upset or irate. There will be signs that this person should not be in your home. One, if they even make it that far, because you can invite them over, but if nothing ever coincidentally plans are not working out and you just can't do it, or there's just never enough time, you should take that as a sign. Same thing with the person cooking for you, because a lot of people think magic is just spell bottles and potions and a bunch of other things, right? No. It's really not like at all. I mean, it's a portion of it, yes, but the other portion of it is also in everything you do. The magic is not in the tools, it's in the people. So with that being a sentiment, it also comes with who is making your meals for you, who's preparing them, because that is an energetic transfer. That person has to put their physical time and energy into that. They have to prepare the food, season the food, make sure it's cooked right and thoroughly and properly to prepare it for you. And I wouldn't say I'm not going to poison you, as some people might, but it's definitely something that once you consume it, you're absorbing that way, and people can put spells on you that way. Whether it be, I've seen people who use spaghetti and put their menstrual blood in it to keep a man, or not even keep him, but make him more attracted to them and less likely to leave them. Like, and I think people use the rose quartz theory all the time, where they buy someone rose quartz and then they give it to them to make sure they are with them forever, which y'all are playing with fire. Please be very, very careful about that. Like, some of it's woo-woo and some of it's just a part of growing up in a Caribbean household where we're big on respect and just not acting like a degenerate. Please. Sweeping someone's feet. This is a threat against your life, and you should take that, because they're sweeping away. That's a curse. It's like bad luck, bad juju, and to reverse it, just spit over the broom. That's literally what I was taught. But you should be mindful if you're going to see someone who's going to be sweeping across your feet, especially if it's like aggressively or hard. In general, just doing it is really messed up, but doing it in an aggressive or hard way is all the more reason why you should be super duper careful about it. 10, splitting the pole. Don't do that, because I think that's also a bad luck. And every time that I've seen people do it, something happens, like every time, like clockwork. So I will stand firmly in this. Like, if I'm out with friends or, loved ones or family members and I see a pole, I will scream at you to not split that pole. I will grab you and I will drag you on the other side of the pole, because don't piss me off. Not only does it bring bad juju, like bad luck on the person splitting the pole, but it also sets the tone for the entire environment. And it's so minuscule, but it is so powerful energetically. And people look at me crazy when I'm like, stop splitting the pole, but I'm like, no, literally stop doing that. Cut it out. You're literally like ruining your time. Please, for the love of God, stop spinning poles. It's an old wives' tale tradition, woo-woo thing, whatever you want to call it, but it is one that rings true, because every time, especially with couples, anytime I've seen a couple split a pole, they broke up not long after that pole was split. And I would say like a good 6 months. Not to say that, there weren't issues beforehand or anything like that, but that pole splitting is like, it's a division between those two people, and it's like It's literally like a precursor for the separation. So I'm very big on do not split the pole. And I'm very proud that I'm big on that because most people think I'm worried about it, but I don't care. I will grab you by your neck collar. Oh my god, I will grab you by your shirt collar and I will drag you around to the side of the pole that I'm standing on, so we're both walking on the same side of the pole because it is that serious. Now that we've reached 10, I do want to say, if you made it this far, thank you. I also do want to like re-emphasize that this is purely based off of my own like spiritual experience and along with my journey, because I think each and every person's journey is going to be different. Like some of these things may not affect you at all. Some of these things might, like it varies from person to person. And I think once you can sort of honor the individuality within your spiritual experience, because no experience is going to be the exact same. There may be some certain circumstances that are the same, or experiences that feel the same. However, there are going to be certain factors at play that are going to be unique to each and every individual. And I think the more we honor that, the easier it'll be for the entire community as a whole. Because I think now what I see a lot within the spiritual community is a lot of people who, while yes, there are universal, like karmic and base laws for the universe that you should follow, I think that we should make room and hold space for people who have an entirely different experience or who may operate from a different way of existing than they do. I think we should hold space for individuality, to that way it's actually how you make room for inclusivity. Like you cannot be a space that is inclusive to everyone if you're going to be picky about who is in those spaces. It's not real inclusivity, it's performance for social acceptance, or it's inclusivity rooted in social acceptance. So then again, it's still not even really inclusivity. It's just literally for pure validation of other people. It's never, ever, ever truly rooted in anything that's life changing or that can really do something for more than just one specific demographic of people. That's being said, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. I'm an adult. I have life and things go on, so I try to pump out videos like on a regular basis when I'm inspired to. But I wanted to make this one because this is something that like I feel like most people don't really talk about, and if they do, there's a lot of like weird things. Also, like I don't mind sharing my own like spiritual experiences and stuff like that, but the spiritual community is so heavily diluted with people who have complexes. Like I see some people who are not that way, but most of the time I see people who like it's fake positive, and also it's a little negative and performative sometimes. Like you have people who will have their own rendition of certain concepts and come across other people who have different renditions of the same concepts and will talk to them like they are wrong or something is wrong with that person individually for having an entirely different perception of something than they are. And I don't like that. That is very common within the community, and I don't like that. I will speak up and argue with whoever it is doing that if I experience it, but I hate arguing, so I typically try to stay out of the way of that. Anyways, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. I hope this helped, or I hope you learned something while watching this, whoever's watching, because I never know who's watching. But if anybody watching has learned something or, heard a new perspective or something, I really liked it, maybe I'll make more of these when life's not whooping my ass. But yeah, thank you for watching.